After a week like this, I feel like optimism needs some optimization. This word optimist is something that I've adopted for a long time. In fact, I've been kind of I'd say a compulsive optimist. So I've always found the bright side. I've looked really hard, and no matter what I'm going through, I can find some glimmering possibility that I can navigate towards. But I learned something recently that's kind of changed my perspective on optimism. And it's this idea, which was found by Jim Collins in an interview in his book, Good to Great. He interviewed Admiral James Stockdale, who I remember as Ross Perot's running mate in 1992. And I never was super inspired by him at that time, but when I learned this, my perspective changed. Admiral James Stockdale was the highest ranking official, the highest ranking naval officer that was captured as a POW in Vietnam. He spent 8 years in the Hanoi Hilton. He spent 4 of those years by himself in solitary confinement in the dark. And through all of this, as Jim Collins asked, he said, how did you get through all of that? How did you get through this immensely trying time? And his answer was this. He said, I never doubted that I would get through. And I only thought, how can I get through this experience and look at it as the most transformative experience of my life? How can I look at this as the most transformative experience of my life? And this is very different than optimism, because what he said was, when Jim Collins asked him who actually didn't make it, what Admiral Stockdale said was the people who didn't make it said, it'll be over by March. It'll be over by April. It'll be over by summertime. It'll be over by September. All of those people were the ones who died of a broken heart. Those people, he said, were the optimists. So this kind of made me change my perspective on optimism. And I think optimism is up for a little bit of an optimization. And that is, rather than can we conclude that something will change in the near future and attach our hopes and dreams to that, rather can we make meaning in the time that we're navigating? Can we translate these experiences into something more powerful? This has become the idea of the Stockdale paradox. That is, two things that seem opposing and yet make sense. That is, it's not about how quickly can you how quickly can you get yourself out. It's not about how much in your mind can you convince yourself that it's okay. It's about, can you make meaning? Can you view this as transformational? Can you face the time with an open heart and walk through realizing you will look back at this time and find that it has changed you for the better?